What's up?
Hey, everybody.
Hello. This is
The Things
and
Drinks
Pod.
Cast.
That's right. I'm definitely. Well, you go first, honey.
Well, I mean, you're Nate, and I'm Jordan.
That's right, and we are your go-to podcast couple.
Hopefully.
For not just not just laughs, but also news and information. More importantly, thinking while having some type of drink, whatever it might be. We'll leave that up to you. But it is Saturday, 4 p.m. on the 16th of May of 2020. Welcome to I'm sorry.
Oh, my God. Every time. Woo!
Woo! Hey! What are we drinking today?
We are drinking cava from Spain. La Granja 360.
That's right. And you can find it at Trader Joe's.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, I suppose there's something I do want to address. We were supposed to do a multi-cam episode today, but my operating system is not functional for such things, unfortunately. So what we're going to be doing is I downloaded OBS. I worked real fucking hard this week, and literally I have a cool project in development with my brother. Jordan and Rhiannon are going to be they're going to have a multi-cam show. There's a lot of big things coming. This is the last single cam podcast from us.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. More importantly, I found a great way to, you have to get a TriCaster and how the sausage is made. I don't want to go too much into it, but this is it's been a fun fucking week. And I was really looking forward to, I'm going to pull it up on here for all you folks. I was really looking forward to launches that were supposed to happen this week. And today, but unfortunately they couldn't because Cape Canaveral, unfortunately, I'll pull up the article
What was it, weather?
Yeah, so let's see.
I think it's all of the Gulf Coast that's having bad weather, because I've also been hearing about gloomy days in Texas.
Let's see. Launches canceled. And anyone that knows me, I'm wearing a fucking NASA shirt. I was really, really, really stoked to be able to check out this launch, but unfortunately, the Atlas had to wait. They aborted. I believe with a 4-minute T-minus calendar down. I have it up on Google for you folks.
Counter.
Excuse me. Let's see. I pull it up on Google. Space calendar and events. www.space.com, and I'll go ahead and queue it up for you as well, honey. So
cheers, baby.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Boom. All right. Let's take a look
tasty.
here. Oh, that's fucking good. Last updated May 13th. These dates are subject to change. Here. It's going to be behind you, honey. Cast. Boom. Sources.
That lovely painting on the Chromecast right
Yeah, oh
now.
my god, it's so beautiful. All right, there you go. And there you go. Go ahead and Jordan, when it comes up, go ahead and
A picture of a ship.
yes, that is definitely not that is definitely not what I was
Different
trying
kind of
to
ship.
promote. Let's see. I was going to say go ahead and read it when it populates.
Because I'm better at reading out loud.
Yes. Right, there you go. I don't know why that happened, but I don't know what's going on with this TriCaster.
Well, it's a beautiful picture of a bridge.
God damn it, dude.
Sorry, just technical difficulties. Beep.
Well, move on. Talk about the launches, Jordan.
I actually don't know anything about the launches because they didn't happen, and I didn't look them up because I'm back to work. So I was at work all day yesterday. Yeah.
You can also read some news before you go to work.
Okay. Says the guy who was sleeping when I left.
Hey, man, I was tired from a very tough workout.
Okay. I was also tired, and I still got up.
And here we go. Yeah, there we go. All right, finally. Just had to try it a few times.
Okay, I
Alright.
can't read that
Well, why not?
because it's pixelated heavily.
I can read it. A United Launch Alliance Atlas V-Rocket will launch the AFSPC 7 mission for the U.S. Space Force. So it was going to be a Space Force test. Here, let's minimize it. Maybe that'll help. Sorry, folks. I don't know what's going on with my internet. I turned off all the devices, Wi-Fi's in the house, and it's still fucking doing this shit.
Oh, it's okay. Everyone knows that internet is being a bitch right now for
Yeah.
everyone. I need to call the internet company and see what's up. There we go. I can see that now.
All right, please read.
Okay.
Jesus,
So
rough start.
well, we were at what, May 17th? Oh, never mind. I can't read it.
Here, there you go. Pay attention.
May 17th, right? Is that what you were reading?
Yes,
Okay.
Jordan.
You're not being helpful. You're getting frustrated at your tech, and so you're taking it out on me.
Let's see here.
So it's SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket is expected to launch the 7th batch of approximately 60 satellites for the company's Starlink broadband network.
In a mission designated Starlink 7, it will lift off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Air Force Station in Florida at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So 1 a.m. Hopefully this morning, but considering the weather. And May 18th, Jupiter and Saturn will make a close approach in the early morning sky. The pair will be in conjunction at 12.
That's cool.
Fucking cool. And May 20th, a Japanese H-2B rocket will launch the HTV-9 cargo spacecraft to the International Space Station. That's awesome. I'll definitely be sure to check that one out. It will lift off from the Tanegashima Space Center in Japan at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Eastern Direct Time. Excuse me. And of course, just go to space.com, folks, and you'll be able to go ahead and check out a lot of really cool and more importantly, interesting information about where you can find some aerospace engineering news and technology. But I wanted to get that out of the way because I was really bummed out and pissed. But the lives of people and engineers is a little more important than the lifetime of a rocket ship.
And it's not like there's not going to be a reschedule. It's not like they went, oh, well, the weather's bad today. Let's scrap the entire project.
That's true.
I do have to bring up that you get a little dramatic about things.
Just a little bit. Just a wee little bit. Well, we did have a lot of things on the docket that we wanted to discuss. More importantly, I wanted to, as we're starting to learn more and more, we're trying not to talk about things before the podcast because you just leave it in the hallway, and then if you readdress it, it's not authentic. You are prepping for your races.
Race singular.
Whatever. For now, it's just one.
For now.
You never know. I guarantee when as soon as you get really talented with cycling and conditioned for the longer races, I'd love to go across the world and shit. Maybe see you do the Tour de France.
Woof.
That's a lofty fucking goal.
That's especially as a 30-year-old who just started cycling.
Well, all right. Well, we saw Icarus, and I'm really glad I'm bringing this up because PEDs. We know quite a bit about PEDs because of MMA, right? You saw United States Anti-Doping Agency and WADA, World Anti-Doping Agency. World Anti-Doping Agency oversees a lot of these races. Now, I'm pulling up on the Chromecast, and hopefully it fucking works well this time. I'm pulling up on the Chromecast right now the race that you're trying out for.
The Levi's Grand Fondo.
And I'm on the website right now, levisgrandfondo.com-routes. And let's see here. First of all, talk to us about what it's like to prepare mentally for something that you've never done before.
It's definitely a little daunting, especially because I've never distance cycled before. Only this past fall, and well, end of summer and last fall, I was commuting to work with my bike for 5 miles each way. So that's nothing for all of these people who do races and even just joyriders going out and going, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do, 30 miles today. It's not a big deal. You hear that all the time, especially in Sonoma County, because it's gorgeous. We have beautiful trails. We have all these vineyards that you can cycle through. And so Nate and I, as everyone knows, we love to go wine tasting, and every single time there's a nice day, there's so many cyclists out there, and it is not like going out to Dry Creek Valley. It is not a short trip all the way out to Lake Sonoma and back into downtown Healdsburg, and it looks like they're just like casually going on their ride, getting some exercise in, on the weekend. I ran into this lovely couple.
You mentioned it before, but
Yes.
I stopped you so you wouldn't ruin it.
No, you didn't stop me. I was just like, oh yeah, I can talk about the nice couple I met.
That's true.
So I stopped myself. Don't take credit.
Don't take credit.
On my way out to the trail, I'm not going to mention what trail, just because I don't want people to. I mean, I don't broadcast when I cycle. The Joe Rodata Trail that goes from downtown Santa Rosa into Sebastopol. It's, I believe, about 8 miles long if you take the entire trail, and even longer if you go into downtown Sebastopol. This couple I met, I hit them up, or they almost ran into me because I was making a turn and I almost didn't make the turn. And so...
Why? What?
It was a tight turn.
So
and I wasn't used to doing tight turns. What?
You didn't slow down?
I did slow down. And
the last second, apparently.
They didn't slow down. They're used to taking it, really quickly. It's also, not the safest area. There's a lot of homeless on the trail. And so it's not the area that you want to stop and, check your phone or take a drink of water.
Right.
So...
Maybe talk about what Joe Rodata Trail went through recently here in Sonoma County. Address that first, because you can, it's a lot of things at once, unfortunately.
So the Joe Rodata Trail and the Santa Rosa Creek Trail, they kind of merge. They turn into each other, or rather, you can turn off the Santa Rosa Creek Trail onto the Joe Rodata Trail. Currently, the Santa Rosa Creek Trail does have people camping under the underpasses. Not people camp. There are people. Homeless people camping.
There are people, Jordan.
I know. I just said that. And definitely not being respectful of the trail. Keeping, trash is everywhere. It smells. They spread out all along the trail. And that was an even bigger problem on the Joe Rodata Trail until just a couple of months ago. There was a massive tent city on...
Massive. I'm pulling it up right now.
On the Joe Rodata Trail. It had plague-like conditions.
Medieval diseases, much
Yes.
like Skid Row in Los Angeles. There's bubonic plague, TB, which unfortunately, has had its
Infestation
resurgence.
of rats, mice, other vermin. It wasn't safe for people to walk on or bike on. The people living there would throw rocks. They'd throw feces. They'd chase you. There were even people that got assaulted.
Yeah, one lady, she got pretty beaten up.
And
by a homeless
dog
guy.
attacks as well. So it got cleaned up recently, which is really nice. It took them over a month to fully clean it up. They had to do it section by section, hosing it down, sanitizing the entire area and the foliage and vegetation around the area. you're finally seeing wildlife come back to it. I saw a pack of turkeys.
That is an interesting point because I was wondering the environmental impact that all this was that was occurring during when those I guess transients were
Encampment.
Yeah, the one of those encampments were occurring. I was wondering the environmental impact, and it's so interesting because some people can just go back to life and act like nothing, like, well, whatever, whereas other individuals that might be in public administration, or you're a childcare professional, you can't help but not just empathy, but more importantly, being okay with this occurring around you. Don't get me wrong. San Francisco, it's not the greatest example of a cityhood or anyone in city planning taking care of their community, but at least Santa Rosa, there's programs now due to COVID-19. These parking lots for people that would normally be going to work are now being commissioned to house homeless people. Do I avoid running by them when I'm doing cardio? Fuck yeah, I do.
Well, just running, you're not like super fast. Not like if you're on a bike or some other like wheeled vehicle, motorized vehicle. It's hard to get away if you suddenly come in a situation that's dangerous to you.
And so, with that in mind, when you're cycling distance on the Joe Rodada Trail, when you meet people in certain regions of the trail, I'm curious. Back to your point, how does that influence your training?
I mean, the trail was pretty busy today, but people seemed to be pretty good about social distancing. Lots of pedestrians walking, lots of people cycling. I even saw our local roller derby team practicing on the trail, like running drills. But everyone was being very aware of masks and staying 6 feet away, which we're lucky that the trail is like a good 8 feet wide.
Yeah, unlike the Brush Creek Trail that I run every day here in Santa Rosa.
Yeah, the part that you run is very narrow. It gets wider as you go.
It makes me wonder, like, who the fuck was in Parks and Recreation and designed this trail and thought, that's enough. That's enough space. There'll never be a pandemic that requires people to be 6 feet apart.
Definitely the heavier use trails, they are wider. Like I said, if you continue on the Brush Creek Trail, it does get wider apart. There's more space.
That is true. I did grow up in Reagan Valley, so I do know that.
And there's like 2 parts of the Brush Creek Trail. There's a part where you can walk across the bridge and go on the other side. I personally think that they should change it, 1 to cycling and 1 to pedestrians, walkers, and strollers.
Walkers?
Walkers.
Walkers.
Rick.
So what race are you training for?
The Levi's Gran Fondo, the Piccolo.
The Piccolo.
Yes.
All right. It's right behind you. I had to
restart. Oh, you went to the long race. That is not the one.
I had to restart. Where is it then? How do I find it?
I go into routes.
Routes. I see it. I had to restart the Chromecast, folks. That was the technical difficulty. I apologize.
But the
real professional. All right, so go ahead and talk to us about this race and how you think you need to train. And in fact, read the copy featured on the website, real quick.
Those are actually all just people talking, like participants talking about it.
Right, but this is a particularly interesting quote.
Well, it switched. But
it's on a carousel. So never mind. I apologize.
Gran Fondos, they're all over the world. It's bike races.
Right. So the Levi's. I
actually picked the Levi's partially because we've witnessed it. We witnessed the cyclists going through town before, which I think is pretty cool. And
yeah, and it was broadcasted live, and you could see it all over the world. I remember when that happened. In fact, I remember thinking, wow, this is honestly really fucking cool. and then I thought, could I do this? Like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to take a spill that hard. But I'm wondering, what are you gonna do to eat, if we end up eating it? How are you gonna design? So here's the Piccolo.
You keep talking over me. Yes, the Piccolo. It's 30 miles, and it goes up to an elevation of 1,500 feet. So I've never done elevation training before, so that's definitely something that I have to do because if you've ever been to Sonoma County and you've driven from the Santa Rosa area into Occidental, you know that there are some pretty steep hills, and that's partially where you're going to be riding.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it up, but I might need a new Chromecast. It's possible.
Yeah, it's old.
Take a look. That is apparently.
Yeah, and it's not like the elevation is where you start and then you like get to, oh, okay, we're just gonna go pretty flat now. No, the elevation is right in the middle of that.
Yeah, I'm looking at it, and mile 5 looks, like a lot of up and down, but
because you're going through Sebastopol.
Yeah, so you go through Occidental, and then you peak. Mm-hmm. I don't know what mountain that is, but that sucks.
Yeah, that's not going to be the most fun.
Yeah, so your training's gonna need to be really unique. But some of the quotes I was reading for the audience, if they were seeing it as it was carouseling, it was a lot of people like yourself. I was trying to lose weight, found cycling. Turns out I really like it. I'm good at it, and I thought, well, what can I do as a goal?
Exactly, and I have until October to train for it.
I'm excited to see what. Because mental toughness, it's a phrase thrown around in this house a lot, but it's cycling like that, endurance cycling. That's when you really dig deep and find out what mental toughness really is, and that's the route. That looks. Yeah, you're going out to Camp Meeker and back. Fuck.
So you don't go all the way back to Santa Rosa.
Right. I see that.
Yeah. you stop, and then. You have someone pick you up. Or
are you excited about it?
I am excited. Yeah, I'm definitely nervous, especially because of how hard my ride was today. To be fair, I didn't fuel at all. I didn't take any pre-workout. I didn't super prepare. I definitely need padded bike shorts.
Yeah, that you were saying that you kept noticing people.
Everyone had their padded bike shorts, and a lot of people had road bikes instead. So I feel like I'm gonna have to get new tires as well.
That's a good point. I'm curious with cycling and doing the Beachbody thing. I can't help but wonder what's it gonna be like when you when you're what used to be no workout isn't enough. I wanted to ask you that, but it sounded like it was enough today. But
it definitely was enough
when it's not enough anymore, I'm curious.
I'm gonna be just finding new trails. As it gets closer to the date, I'm probably gonna want to familiarize myself with the route.
Fuck yeah, you are.
So I'm gonna be getting closer and closer to the route. Personally, for me, since I tend to be an anxious person, if I know which way I'm going, I'm gonna do better.
Well, what I thought was a good idea. You know that cycling bar in Rankin Valley.
Yes.
Those people all probably belong to like cycling clubs.
Mhm.
So if you join a cycling club,
once all the pandemic, calms down a little bit.
When the apocalypse stops.
Again, with the being an anxious person, I don't want to meet new people right now. I don't know where they've been.
Dude, that is the fucking truth. And especially with having multi-cam capability now and really knowing how to do it. I'm really like, Why didn't I figure this out years ago? It's really frustrating, but
before when you brought up when you were first looking at races and going, do I want to do that? What if I take a spill? The great thing is that there are bike teams.
it's true.
Specifically, there's one here in Sonoma County called Velomed, and they are paced out throughout the race, and they're all doctors or surgeons or nurses. And so they're racing, every 20 feet in a group. They're pacing with the group, and they're there to help if, someone passes out from exhaustion or someone's, I don't know, maybe they get a nail in their tire and they flip over their handlebars and get hurt. Or
skip a link and then you just go over it. That happened to me once, and it really fucked up my shoulder. In fact, I think it actually broke my shoulder because I remember having to hold my arm up for weeks, and I was still working at Round Table at the time in Rankin Valley, and I worked through the pain, and now I would not do that. But then you're young, you can you can get away with a lot more things, but it's the accidents that scare me more than anything. Much like doing jiu-jitsu, it's so easy to dislocate someone's shoulder or hurt their foot on accident because you're trying to get the tap, but they just won't tap, and because they're trying to win, and that is not good.
no.
That's definitely how you hurt yourself.
But anyways, back to the very beginning of the story.
Yes,
right,
the couple.
Right at the beginning of my ride, this couple almost ran into me. My fault, because I was taking it slow and they had been taking it a little bit faster. They stopped. I let them go ahead. We ran into each other again at the next stop, the stop light. And the wife, she turns around and she asked me, "Oh, are you going to Sebastopol?" And I said, "Yeah." And then kept going. Next light, she goes, do you go on this trail often?" "No, first time." "Oh, you're gonna love it. We do twice a week." And I went, oh, okay, because this couple, they are clearly in their mid to late 50s.
That's, I guarantee that's how they make new friends. They meet people, and I thought, I wanted to bring this up. What was it? Last Sunday, we had an interesting Mother's Day. Happy belated Mother's Day. Happy Red Nose Day. We're going to be doing a bonus episode for all you people that are Red Nose Day fans. We went to one of the best parks, Channing Way,
in Kenwood.
And I said something that I thought I would never say, like, wow, a house out here would be dope. You walk to the wineries your club members at. You have a great park next to you.
It's literally the most suburban Nate has ever wanted to be.
I want to live on a place that has my name.
He goes, "This is a really nice park. This is a place that I could buy a house." And I went, "What?"
Yeah, it'd be a small little place that you can retreat to. Not expensive at all. It's one of those cheap places you're like, oh, wow, this clearly needs some work.
You do all the renovations yourself.
That's right. I was here for a little while, working on it. What are you doing? Whatever I want. Why are you being nosy? What's going on here?
See, that's the thing. You don't like talking to people about your business.
Well, let's talk about not ourselves, huh? But I was thinking that cycling to your favorite wineries, I get the appeal, why people do it, but I remember one time we were going to Napa. We were in Napa, and I think you remember this. There were people that were cycling on a tiny road, and they were clearly calling for some help because they didn't realize, oh, I'm driving through hills and mountains. Sorry, riding a bike through hills and mountains.
Well, they were also in one of those like biking tour group kind of things, but it didn't seem like they had
flip-flops.
they didn't have a tour guide. It looks like they rented the bikes, and just. First of all, don't bike in flip-flops. No matter what you're doing, I don't care if your kid is 5 years old and learning how to ride a bike, don't put them in flip-flops.
Or skateboard.
Really, anything that's going pretty fast, don't do it.
If there's concrete involved,
It's
don't
not
have your feet exposed, dude.
safe. Flip-flops are from going from your house to the pool. Or, in a gym shower. Or
Excuse me. But I look back at those things now, and I wonder, like, and I always say different tools for different things, right? And what is so cool about cycling is that if you have the tools, you can. I mean, the derailleur might be difficult, the chain might be difficult to design, but if you can fabricate steel, it's not hard to design a bicycle on, as a fun project.
Well, we would.
Or repurpose old parts and, use them.
When I was working in wineries, we would always have people come on their bikes. Tons of people would be doing cycling tours or, hey, we live in the area and we were getting our exercise and you're our wine club. Let's go in and take a little break.
Iron Horse?
You didn't see that many cyclists at Iron Horse. We would see it a lot in Dry Creek Valley when I was working there. There would be bike tours, and we knew that they would never buy wine because they can't carry it unless they were from out of state, and then they'd ship. You see it a lot in Napa that there would be a group of 40-something-year-olds. Oh, we're biking up and down, the highway or the Silverado Trail.
So I pulled up on Google cycling tours Sonoma County, and clearly that's a thing.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, holy shit. Okay, so they're temporarily Sonoma Valley bike tours and rentals.
Well, you can't do tours right now.
Right, absolutely, but I thought it said permanently.
Oh.
So you have Windsor, which makes a ton of sense because Windsor is a dope little town, man. Fuck, if it wasn't in Windsor, I could live in Windsor.
That's how I feel about Calistoga.
Yeah, oh god, it's just so tough to get out there.
It's really cute, but it's so insular.
Everyone knows your business, right?
Well, it also makes me really nervous because you have a mountain right there. What if that mountain catches on fire?
Yeah, again?
Again.
Ugh.
It already caught on fire.
Fuck, dude. No, thank you. That's the worst. Let's see. Damn, this pulls a lot of Wi-Fi. That's not... Yeah, so this is the first time that we're doing this, folks. So if it's rusty, I apologize. But I see why people get really, really powerful
Rusty
Wi-Fi.
or sketchy?
Yeah, just not awesome, but no one else. I guarantee our fans don't know how to do this. Yeah.
Wow, that vocal fry was ferocious.
Yes. You know what? But how about this? If you could do any of these bike tours, where would you like to do a bike tour through?
I would do Russian River Valley. I think it would be the easiest.
What time of year?
Spring or fall. It would be any of these bike tours. Do not do them in the summer. It will be way too freaking hot. I already...
Oh, did you?
I got you.
Thank you.
Our fans will have seen me pour for you.
She just did, you dope. So the drinking game is anytime I steamroll Jordan, take a drink. Anytime I notice that she does something for me, take a drink. And anytime that I swear at the tech, take a drink. So far, that's the three that I have.
There's the three.
So I owe you a lot of drinks.
Right? But no, I would never take a Sonoma County bike tour or even a Napa County bike tour in the summer because it can get up into the hundreds here.
Hot, yeah.
Unrelenting.
Yeah,
and
that's
if you're
a good point.
also drinking, if you're doing like a wine and bike and wine, I don't know, tour and you're drinking, you would get so dehydrated so quickly and you can get hurt or sick.
Yeah, well, as you know, one mistake, fatigue. What else can cause just silly mistakes? Bad form, right? And maybe not enough sleep and inflammation in general.
Or in the summer here, you could just get sunstroke.
Fucking A, you can, dude. I'd like to point out that just from Chromecasting and having the web browser run while I'm running it, really slowed down the bandwidth. So it's a bandwidth problem.
Okay, time to call the,
Time to upgrade. Apparently, we need to upgrade.
Well, I already pay for good internet, so I need
Yeah,
to call them
so-
and yell at them.
Hey, challenge. If you have where to get great internet, please let us know, because clearly, as we're developing, we need to get better and better sources of power.
Yeah, comment down below, specifically
Email,
for...
email,
or-
Twitter,
or
Instagram. I want to know directly.
Specifically for Sonoma County, because we don't get a lot of providers out here. We definitely have a monopoly on internet providers in this area.
Yeah.
So.
Because my multicams, I guess we can take some time to explain it. Kind of, because this is very DIY.
Are we done talking about bikes?
No, not yet. But I
Bikes.
I'm terrible to ride in a car with. Why? Bikes.
What you get arrested for?
Stealing bikes.
Bikes!
Tom Segura.
Love that guy. What I will say, if you're a DIY podcaster, here's my piece of advice. My odd pearl is that you better make sure that you either have 2 laptops so you can run them in tandem, so you can actually do everything without technical difficulties, or make sure that the one you're using is really, really fucking good, and make sure that you're organized and you have your show really prepared. And be prepared to have to, unplug something and plug it back in. 3 cameras, it was working, but just too much bandwidth. So again, if you know a good Wi-Fi provider, let us know. Sorry, that's my tech.
Let us.
My reach out for tech help of
Let
the
us
day.
know? Like lettuce?
Lettuce? Fuck you. Are you a goose?
I think that was more like piggy.
Go ahead. But I guess getting back to the point I was making is that witnessing the evolution of what cycling does for your relationship and for your life, and how proactive it makes an individual. And it's much like surfing, skimboarding, skateboarding, longboarding, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, or even Japanese jiu-jitsu, of course. I'm sure that changed your life. And anything that you dedicate, and even podcasting. Man, I've dedicated a ton of time to it, and now it's life will...
Or wine knowledge.
Right. Literally everything changes. And that's what's so fascinating to see you, for my husband review. This isn't a review of cycling. This is a review of living with someone that does cycling. Shout out. Much love to girlfriend reviews. But as my husband review, it's fascinating to just see the programming that's occurring and much as what Elon Musk had to say about AI and children. I found that really interesting, because it's just essentially programming, and to see like a great example of it, because you're at a big, I wouldn't say necessarily beginner, but you're advancing.
I'd say novice.
You're advanced, right? Novice. You're advancing, and you're probably riding at about maybe some like kid that rides their bike all the time. You're probably just as good as them.
Probably.
And that is a strange way to look at it.
My average speed is not where I want it to be. I definitely need a tune-up on my bike. Like, it wasn't working as optimally as I would like.
Right.
But what...
Same with your helmet, though. We had to fix your helmet.
Yeah.
It's all about time, right?
What I really liked about the couple that I met, first of all, I like that they cycle together as much as possible. And,
Trying to say something?
I mean, yeah.
Where's my camera? I see why Joe Coy does that. That's fucking funny.
But something that the wife, when she was talking to me, she asked me, it's a beautiful ride. You're going to love it. Why are you out today? And I said, well, it's going to rain for the next 2 days. And she goes, that's why he wanted to come out. I need more motivation. And so whenever we go down to Sebastopol, we grab a coffee.
Coffee is good.
So that
I love coffee.
They go down to the farmer's market and they have saddlebags.
Mm.
And
That's
so, cute. Yeah. And so she has her motivation. He definitely likes it for the views and the exercise. He's definitely the exercise person in their relationship. He was also telling me that
A little more motivated.
from Santa Rosa to Healdsburg is a beautiful ride as well.
I mean, based upon the roads that you've taken me on that I never would have known about unless wine.
Why?
Where's my camera?
Again, drink. New thing.
Unless wine. It's even Dry Creek Road. On your way out to Lake Sonoma, there's not too many roads to it, but places like VLM, that land that they're
VML.
on, whatever. La Vie Boheme. I don't know. Fuck. But there's these interesting. And I suppose every place everywhere has this, even if it's, not the most developed place. But just pockets of cool. If you got cool in your pockets of the road, that's just that didn't sound as cool as I thought it would.
Nope.
Let me take that.
It's okay.
Sorry. Don't look at me, camera.
Or on the way to Bella Wine Caves, that little road.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's still Dry Creek Valley, but you get to see the other side of the valley. So we normally look towards the road that goes to Bella. We were on the other side of the valley, so we were looking at the road that we always drive on. And you really seem to enjoy it. You're looking around, wow. And it's the more residential part of Dry Creek Valley as well. You see a lot more of these little homes. You don't really see that many ranch homes on that side. It's mostly little homes with their vineyards right on the mountain.
Yeah, I'm pulling up Dry Creek Valley on Google right now for the audience.
Gotcha.
Casting it might ruin the recording. I'm not sure yet. So if there's audio and lag issues, I'll lower the resolution. But I'm pulling it up right now, and one thing I have to say about Dry Creek Valley is that it's Lake Sonoma. I'm not. Boating's cool. I like boating.
Unless you have a boat, Lake Sonoma is gross.
It's the camping. I'm like, who has camped here before?
And you can't.
It's not expensive, so I know it's not necessarily the cleanest.
If you're just driving up to swim, you're not in the cleanest part of the lake. You kind of need a boat if you want to go and swim, because then you're in cleaner parts of the lake because it's deeper.
You know what, man? We went out there. Fuck, how long? Before a time I'm not going to talk about because I made a huge fool out of myself. Sorry, yawn. But we went out there before that and
to go swimming.
Yeah, to kick it. Yeah, instead of try something different than the ocean because it's.
Well, you can't swim in the ocean here; it's way too cold.
Yeah, and it's never guaranteed that it's going to be nice either because of the wind, and it was a hot day, and we were thinking, what else can we do? And when we weren't really familiar, we hadn't found our river spot.
No, we had not.
Not yet.
Man,
not gonna fucking tell you where it is. Yeah, this is a long time ago. And I remember thinking it reminded me of lakes in a place that I used to live some time ago. And but then I was like, oh, that's not good. Because that doesn't mean all the water is, good for you.
Yeah.
If you get it in your mouth, boy, I hope you have a strong immune system, Jack.
Well, I think just like 3 months later after that trip, it was announced that there was blue-green algae in Lake Sonoma, and so not to take your small children or dogs because it was toxic.
That's right.
Yes.
I forgot about that. That's disgusting. I wonder if what the environmental impact. Don't get me wrong. I guarantee that environment is not what it used to be at all. But if it, due to, people not necessarily being able to get out there unless you live and don't get me wrong, a house out there is probably dope as fuck because the marina is just down the road.
During the COVID-19 shutdown here,
it's a state park though, right?
They shut down the docks.
Right.
So even if you had a boat there, you couldn't take it out.
Let's see, Lake Sonoma. Continue.
I don't know if you can right now since we're opening up slowly but surely here in ish right off of your dock, because that'd be dope. But
Oh man, it paused at some point. How did that happen? That sucks. I'll have to edit this shit. But we'll keep going. Maybe it just happened. That's possible. I hope so. Sorry, folks. I don't know what has happened. What the fuck? Again, this is first time doing this with OBS, so bear with me. We were just talking about Sausalito and houseboats and homes.
homes on docks.
Homes on docks and homes that also float on the water. It's it was an interesting conversation that you missed out on, and that took all the wind out of my sails. But we'll plow ahead here.
Well, I mean, basically, we were having a debate about the difference between a houseboat and a house that is on a dock, and so it is on the water. It's floating. It's on a dock, but we got our wires crossed because I was talking about an actual boat that is a house, and Nate was talking about a house that is near boats.
No, man, I wasn't. I was talking about a house that literally floats on the water in Sausalito.
What you showed me is not that. Those are all houses that are on docks.
Right,
Docks are also floating.
Sold. It was on Craigslist for maybe 2 weeks, and someone bought it.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and move on to really, really fascinating news from my man Robert Downey Jr. himself. As you know, we're fans of Iron Man in this house, but we're also fans of RDJ. He has a new series coming out that he is going to be developing
on Netflix.
On Netflix with his wife Susan Downey, with True Detective creator Nick Pizzolatto, and
that's a good name.
Yeah, right. That's a fucking name right there, dude.
Just imagine him being yelled at by his Italian grandma. Nicholas Pizzolatto.
Let's see. The second season. That's about True Detective. I love that season with Mahershala Ali and Stephen Dorff.
That was season 3. That
was a goddamn good season.
I mean, season 1 was great. Season 2, with Vince Vaughn kind of lost everyone. And then season 3, they really brought it back.
Let's see.
Which is the great thing about doing an anthology is you can always come back.
And then he can knock it out of the park, which is really awesome part of what season 3 of True Detective did. It especially with huge spoiler alert, the memory loss issues, and at the end of the season, he finds her, but he forgets. It's definitely the most convenient plot device I've ever heard of.
Well, I mean, look at what Ryan Murphy has done with American Horror Story anthology, or even American Crime Story, another anthology series. Narcos
anthology universe, I guess you could say. So it's not necessarily the same. It's not a fair measurement.
It's not the same show either. Like if you click on Narcos in Netflix, it won't automatically take you. It won't have Narcos Mexico added into the seasons. Narcos Mexico has their own seasons. Their season 1, season 2, and Narcos, they have their own seasons. Unlike American Horror Story or American Crime Story, they'll have it's American Horror Story season 1 through 7 or 8 that they have with subtitle. American Horror Story Murder House, American Horror Story Coven.
The show Robert Downey Jr. is producing with Susan Downey, his wife and confidant. They're amazing together.
His lovely lady wife.
Go and put up on Chromecast for you. Go ahead, honey.
Robert Downey Jr. drops Marvel for new DC comic show Sweet Tooth on Netflix.
He looks so handsome.
Well, he always looks handsome.
Right. I want that. I want to try that hairstyle. See how it goes.
He's gotten a lot better with age. He was kind of a goofy-looking 80s kid.
Yeah, it was the heart Rob thing was definitely not going well. Robert Downey Jr. has announced his next project, next PlayStation Sweet Tooth. Show is adapted from DC Comics series of the same name. By Jeff Lemire. Congrats, first of all, to Jeff Lemire, marking a leap for the Iron Man actor from Marvel to DC. And as far as we know, I don't know if this is in tandem with the DC universe.
I don't think it's a superhero series. I think it's more of, from what I've heard and from what I've read, I have not read the comics, so correct me if I'm wrong. I believe it's more of a fantasy sort of comic.
Right, because he's still talking to animals.
Yes. And doesn't the character, in fact, have antlers?
No, I've been able to dive in and do my research. Maybe I shouldn't have brought it up then. Fucking dope. I do know that after Dr. Dolittle, I would like to have seen the Guy Ritchie Dolittle that we all wanted, which was a little more, I don't want to say dramatic, but his wife died, and when we got just barely a moment of, but it was RDJ put, it was moving, and if you caught the work ethic in it, he put a lot of time and effort into how his mental health got the way it did.
Before he started pulling stuff out of dragons' assholes.
Right, that was.
Like, I was on board for, like, some of the goofier aspects. It was fun. It was a fun little romp. And then in the epic conclusion, sorry about the spoilers already, but...
Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Ryan George nailed it out of the park with that pitch meeting.
Butt jokes.
It's too bad that it went the way it did, but I think, post-snap is it's going to be, his career is never going to be the same, of course. Iron Man, and Marvel, Disney, Bob Iger and Bob Chapek, literally, and Kevin Feige, Jon Favreau, and however many other individuals that allowed the MCU to get where it is.
Well, he's never going to stop making
never
that.
Gonna be the same.
He's never going to stop making that Iron Man money either, because he did voice Iron Man in What If. Who knows if he's going to continue voicing Iron Man in the coming years. I think it would be smart. He seems to enjoy voice work. He's done animated properties before, and having Robert Downey Jr. as the voice of animated Iron Man,
it's
easy money, man.
Well, even Riri Williams, Ironheart. For those of you that don't know, I watch far too many and read far too many articles and essays and theory videos about this. What I will say is that Riri Williams, a ethnically diverse young lady, I believe she's black, a black American.
You'd be correct.
She finds old
What?
Stark tech.
Tarks.
Stark tech, and she repurposes it and essentially develops her own iron suit. And then she names herself Ironheart, becomes part of, I believe, the Young Avengers, and then, events ensue, right?
Young Avengers or New Avengers?
It might be New Avengers, which I'm all for it. I don't care. The Disney Plus series that we're getting, man, if I could play these theory videos and I'm definitely gonna do a react to them. In tandem.
Coming on the channel.
Because why not do react content? Because it generates views. We're interesting.
Your reactions are always fucking bonkers. You have a very dynamic face, and so he will see the most mundane thing, but since it piques his interest, he goes, "Oh!" And I find it adorable, and I think that it would work very well for React.
Absolutely. I'm going to be doing some of that, but more importantly, we're going to be diversifying with especially having multicam possible now, and it's going to be a lot of fun to really I don't want to give too much away, but with the new things on the horizon, considering what we're doing with the website and everything we have in development. Get ready, kids. Things are about to change.
Yeah, we got news coming up soon. As soon as we
don't want to divulge it too soon.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that.
And we need to pound out some of the details.
That's right. But RDJ News Series, I'm very excited, especially because he's the showrunner. So let's go ahead and celebrate that.
Woo.
And let's move on, because we also have some other nerdy news to cover. It's a little known Disney Plus series, The Engine That Could, that kind of led the charge. Go ahead.
Mandalorian. Obviously, we're all very, very excited that we're getting season 2. And we're huge Jon Favreau fans and Dave Filoni.
I'm up on Dave Filoni's dick, dude.
Oh, I had a thought earlier that I was totally saving for this. He is the luckiest nerd in the world because he literally gets to make his fan fiction.
That is absolutely right.
Speaking of Dave Filoni fan fiction series, it's relevant to Mandalorian season 2. We mentioned that we've been watching Star Wars Rebels. We've really, really gotten into it, and we're in the final season of it. And it's, if you are a big fan of Mandalorian, you need to watch Rebels, because we're going to be having some characters from Rebels and Clone Wars pop up in Mandalorian season 2. It's been confirmed. Hopefully everyone has heard that we're getting Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka in Mandalorian season 2, but we're also getting 2 characters from Clone Wars and Rebels. Sabine Wren and Bo-Katan, the Lady Bo-Katan.
Yeah, the Lady Bo-Katan. I don't know why I'm so excited for what Disney is doing with in terms of treatments for Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I do adjust. I don't know why I'm so excited about it, but I don't know. Maybe it's because the expanded universe allows to really flesh out that, you know, not everyone knows about the Jedi.
Mm-hmm.
Not everybody is keen to fighting in a war.
Not everyone grew up on a central planet. So through the movies, we hear, you know, like Tatooine, Coruscant, Alderaan. These are more core planets where people are generally aware of the Force.
Life out on the rim.
Yeah. So, both Clone Wars and Rebels, specifically Rebels, you get a lot more of life out on the rim. You get people who go, Jedi? I just thought they were a myth. Or, like, the Force.
What? Space wizards? What?
They're like, the Force, you're just some, like, crazy religious wacko.
Right, the zealots, right? They were seen as zealots.
That's definitely how the early Mandalorians saw the Jedi. Because the Mandalorians, you don't get as much of their backstory yet in the series, but they really flesh them out in Clone Wars and Rebels.
Maul's death is fucking great.
Again, sorry about spoilers,
Massive spoilers.
If you haven't watched Rebels, the series has been out for a while, and Disney Plus has also been out for a while, so catch up.
You gotta catch up, dude.
We got spoiled for that, unfortunately, because we were not caught up.
Yeah, well, and when, you know, people like New Rockstars, companies like New Rockstars,
Mm-hmm.
Looper, everything under the Valnet Incorporated
Emergency
umbrella.
Awesome.
Yeah, Charlie Schneider. I fucking love that guy. But also Cosmic Wonder, my boy Michael Roman. Oh my God, his theories are amazing. But when you have, you know, these nerds that they took it upon themselves to design jobs
Mm-hmm.
in that capacity, and they're gonna get really good at designing story beats.
Yeah.
And using plot points that already happened at the end of something for, well, much like, you know, Well, it's like poetry. It rhymes.
Well, I think
I think people are trying to emulate George Lucas and have that rhyme. So eventually you're going to start picking up on that and realize, oh, because the whole time we were waiting for Kanan to die or something's going to happen
again, spoiler.
to someone. Sure enough.
Well, so you peaked so hard just then. So Nate gets annoyed with me because I'm really good at pointing out plot points. And so we'll just be watching something and I'll point out and be like, oh, I bet they're going to die in the next scene, or they're going to get together later, or he's the villain.
Well, how do you know?
Sure enough.
Well, he's evil.
Right? Sure enough, we'll see in the next scene, or like in Act 3, and we have the reveal, and Nate is just like, man, you're like a pre-spoiler. You don't even know what's going to happen, but you just told me what's going to happen.
Shut up.
But we were watching Rebels last night, and
we're finishing it up. It's, man, after finishing Scrubs, and we'll get to that because we need to address the great late Sam Lloyd.
Yes.
After finishing Scrubs, I realized like finishing something is, there's catharsis, but there's also, oh, wow.
It makes you a lot sadder than it does for me. I enjoy finishing things because then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to really enjoy the rewatch because now I know what's going to happen. But I've always been like that ever since I was younger. I think the first book I reread when I was growing up was The Outsiders.
Great book.
First book that ever
Great
made me
book.
cry.
I mean, I love the hair. I love the clothes.
Greasers.
Well,
Okay, Pony Boy.
I don't care about whether you're greasy or not, or you know, a prep or a social, whatever you want to call it. But just everyone just looks so sharp. You know, whether born and whatever gender, doesn't matter. Just all the clothes look like everyone looked really good.
Okay, tell me more about it, Soda Pop.
Steamroller.
That was not steamrolling. That was popping in with actual, like, oh, these are the names of the Outsiders.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I'm Steamroller.
Yes, you definitely are.
That's Tom Cruise before his nose job.
There was Matt Dillon. Who else? There was Patrick Swayze.
Rest in peace.
Swayze.
I cannot believe his career, his catalog.
He's iconic.
Oh God, poor guy.
And I don't like to throw around the term iconic, but Swayze was iconic.
His cancer took him down real quick.
He had it for a while. They just weren't public about it until until they were sure that it was gonna
Make a piece.
Yep.
That's brutal.
Here you go, fans. Unlike
Anyway, where's my camera?
So anyway, Star Wars. That was.
What I want to see for The Mandalorian, especially considering Dave Filoni's, backdoor story engineering, and clearly canonizing
His epic fan fiction.
Everything he ever wrote, is canonical with Disney now because Disney canon, right? I only want them to take as long as they need. Much like Final Fantasy VII Remake, just especially with UE5, Unreal Engine 5. Now with new tech that I guarantee Disney is going to get their fucking hands on Unreal Engine 5. Take all the time you need. In fact, go back and redesign some things maybe.
I gotta say...
All the triangles, Jordan.
Oh my God.
Triangles!
I gotta say, the great thing about Dave Filoni is he is fantastic at pacing. So he does the same thing that Joss Whedon likes to do, is I like to call them Uber plots. It's the overarching plot line that goes through not even a season, a series.
Right, yeah, macro plot.
Yeah. And so Dave Filoni is so good at pacing and taking his time that he'll be like, okay, so this is a very important plot line, and the next episode is going to be a just fun romp in the universe.
Well, Avatar: The Last Airbender.
They did that too.
Mind you, that Nickelodeon probably made him. Made Mike and Brian.
That's also how just epic series are built. You don't want to get to the big bad in 5 episodes. That's not how you're going to build a successful series. I brought up Joss Whedon because he did that with Buffy. You thought that it was going to be the big bad at the end of season 1, and it definitely wasn't. And Joss Whedon did that for, I think Buffy went on for 9 seasons? 8 or 9 seasons? Because he literally ended with, like, another apocalypse, like an actual big apocalypse. And Dave Filoni is very good at this. With Clone Wars, the animated series, he had it all planned out thanks to George Lucas, because we knew what happened, the major plot points in...
Question.
What?
Do you think Dave Filoni knows the species of Yoda? Do you think George told him?
Yeah. They're pretty close, and I don't think that Dave Filoni would do anything that George Lucas wouldn't have approved of. And I mean, the word on the street is that George Lucas is like, the child is pretty dope.
It's a literal pod for getting a new generation of Star Wars fans. Literally a new generation.
Literally.
Babies, kids, children. And he's getting more attention on the series is because they're short, digestible, and they're I gotta say they're not near as heavy-handed as the films. Thank God. It's they're wrong. I like Shakespeare, but Space Wizards and Shakespeare, it gets a little like ugh.
To your point.
For fuck's sake.
To your point, when I was at work yesterday, I've shown you all my Baby Yoda phone case, and I take care of little kids between 6 and 2, and the middle child, she already knows that I have a Baby Yoda phone case, and she knows who Yoda is, even though I don't know if they've ever seen the movies, but she knows who Yoda is, because I think at this point kids are born knowing who Yoda is.
Wars not make one great.
We were all sitting down, and she goes, Jordan, can I see your phone? And I went, I don't let the kids touch my phone. She goes, no, I want to see the back of your phone. And I went, okay, she wants to see Baby Yoda. And she goes, oh, it's Yoda. Baby, can I touch him? And I went, sure, of course. And she poked him, and she just went, oh. So a 4-year-old little girl who has never seen the movies is already a fan.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Well, let's go ahead and move on. We still have plenty to cover. I do want to go ahead and give a shout out to Squarespace at this time. Thanks, Squarespace. Makes designing websites amazing and easy. If I can do it, you can do it. So I definitely suggest you go ahead and check out Squarespace for all your website needs. And more importantly, if you're into buying domains, if you get a hot idea that someone is if someone's designing something and you want to beat them to the punch, you can do that. You're kind of a douchebag for doing it, but you can do that, and they have to purchase it for however much money you want.
Also, check us out at thanksandDrinks.squarespace.com.
So let's go ahead and move on from Mando.
You don't even want to touch on Boba Fett?
Oh shit, I forgot. Fuck, we're already at an hour. I was trying to keep it short, and I don't know how much time we lost. Due to, I touched a button, apparently.
Button toucher. The
Boba
big
Fett.
news is we're getting Boba Fett.
We knew that was Boba Fett when Fennec was knocked out. She's definitely not dead.
I mean, I wouldn't say we knew. We thought and hoped and prayed.
But the boots, the straps as well, or what?
Spurs.
Spurs. Thank you. the Spurs sounded just like him, and
Mm-hmm.
Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau, they probably thought, no.
And having a bounty hunter. He is a bounty hunter. He's
A
not.
Mandalorian.
He's not a Mandalorian. He wears Mandalorian
Maybe he thinks
armor.
he is. We don't know. No, we've never heard in the Disney canon Boba Fett say, "I'm not a Mandalorian."
Yeah, but we've heard it is canon that Boba Fett is not a Mandalorian, and we've seen it.
Sure,
Boba Fett
but
is a clone.
maybe Boba Fett doesn't understand that, and maybe Boba Fett is already practicing the ways of being a Mandalorian.
Maybe.
I'm not saying that I don't want one thing or another. What I'm saying is what we know, and what we know is that Boba Fett wears, Beskar steel and the
Beskar.
whatever.
It's not whatever.
And Boba Fett is looks and if it talks like a duck and walks like a duck and looks like a duck, it's a duck. So Boba Fett looks like a duck.
What I want to see is, since Boba Fett is a clone.
What's your theory? I have a few theories of my own, but I think they're spoilers.
I mean, I think we're gonna see Boba Fett, doing the bounty hunter shit and coming after
the child,
Mando, and the child.
And then, I think same thing. Boba Fett is gonna realize, but Boba Fett, every time that Boba has run into the Force, it's never been good.
No, but he continues to try and hunt bounties.
Right. So I really hope we get to see Din Djarin. Maybe not. I don't know if Din is a Force wielder at all, but I hope that I hope Din starts to even near the end of the series, like eventually says, "May the Force be with you." If he says that to Ahsoka at some point, fuck.
What I hope.
Are you fucking kidding me?
What I hope is, since the original actor who played Jango Fett is playing Boba Fett, what I'm really hoping for is, since we are getting Ahsoka and Sabine Wren and Bo-Katan, I'm hoping we're going to get Rex, and we see Rex and Boba Fett, and they're both clones. That is what I'm hoping for. And I want to see one clone look at the other and Rex be like, "Yo, dude, you need to stop doing this."
Well, Rex is an easy plot device. Excuse me. And I love him. And I want a lot of Rex. But I don't want I don't want misuse.
Well, since we're only getting one episode of Ahsoka in Mandalorian, at least,
which will probably be near the end.
That's the theory. It's what we're getting. I just really hope that Rex is with her crew, because they always had such a strong bond.
And we need to see the payoff in not necessarily in the films, but addressed in a live action capacity. And I think Dave Filoni is aware of that, and Dave and team and staff.
Well, I mean, has it been confirmed that we're getting an Ahsoka live action, or is that just it might be in the works and we've heard rumors?
No, it's from the sources that I've seen and heard of it coming from. I trust them.
Okay, but it hasn't been officially confirmed.
It's confirmed.
Okay, well,
it's leaked. We weren't supposed to know.
That's not an official confirmation.
Oh my God, Jordan, you're so stupid.
That's really mean. That is not nice.
But let's move on from Star Wars. I'm excited, and we can always talk about it later.
I mean, we are going to talk about the end of Rebels probably next episode.
Yeah, that's Red Nose Day episode.
That was.
Oh yeah. So let's go ahead and move on. We have some losses to discuss, and then we'll get out of here with some funny, and we'll have a good time. Sam Lloyd, Scrubs. I've been a fan since I was little.
Teen.
Yeah.
You were a teen.
Still smaller, right?
Yes, but a teen.
But a teenager, and it's a series that inspired me to maybe think about in a medical or something, and now kinesiology, it's definitely looking like a real option. So, art imitates life, and life imitates art. Scrubs, featuring Sam Lloyd as Ted, was man, some of the most hilarious and best writing.
Oh, he really is a laugh out loud character, which is so funny because I think we see him smile like twice.
Yeah, and with Katie Micucci.
Mm.
And I think that's rewatching it, and as an adult now, a 32-year-old adult with adult problems.
Going on 33.
That's right. I call it 33. Little old me. With all these adult problems now, and more importantly, being kind of understanding some of the clinical medical language here and there, and speaking medicalese, I suppose. It's really interesting now because you realize, like, of the more interesting content you listen to, and I don't want to say smarter, but it's smarter.
Yeah, there you go.
Smarter than most sugar. It's not sugar.
Mm-hmm.
Let me put it that way. Next thing you know, you kind of understand and realize, that this is, maybe I could do something with this. And I owe a lot to Scrubs and everyone involved, especially John C. McGinley, of course, but Zach Braff and Don Faison are friendship goals. Because
they really are.
Because beyond Scrubs, they're actually really close. And
they have a podcast.
Yeah, they do, don't they?
They do.
That's true, huh? But really, man, doing a rewatch of some of the best plot points of this particular series really makes me value the people that we have in our lives. And poor guy had
brain tumor.
Right, but you make your points first. Sorry. Steamrolling.
I was never a huge Scrubs fan. It's not that I disliked it. It just wasn't one of my shows that I watched. But I did remember him as a character. He's very memorable. And it's very sad when someone so young and so talented with, like, a happy family just, bye. Sad.
Not even, it's not like what happened to Juan Alderete, which thank God he's, recovering. Sure, he won't be the same, but, when you get hit by a vehicle, it's one thing because you were out doing something, hopefully you love doing that thing you were doing,
as opposed to just, like, walking around living your life and then you have a abnormality of cells.
Yeah, I'm pulling up the New York Times article right now. Hopefully I can do this.
But he had just, in the past 2 months, he had announced that...
Stop it.
He had announced that he had been feeling better, things were going well, and then it just overtook him.
A scan revealed a mass on his brain, and he soon underwent surgery, but the tumor was too intertwined to be removed.
That was back in, 2018?
Too intertwined.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Because of all the folds you have in your brain.
Yeah, that's, let's see. Mr. Lloyd was told that the cancer in his brain had metastatized from his lungs. Metastasized, excuse me. So it self-informed itself from its lungs, and then it spread to his brain.
Mm-hmm.
That is an aggressive virus.
It's not a virus. It's an abnormality of cells.
Jesus. Additional scans showed that the cancer had to spread to his liver, spine, and jaw. Mr. Lloyd acted in tons of television shows and films, including 95 episodes of Scrubs, as Ted Buckland, a sad sack lawyer.
Sad sack.
With a hangdog look and low self-esteem. I don't know why that's in there. Zach Braff, one of the stars of Scrubs, said on Twitter on Friday that Mr. Lloyd was one of the funniest actors he had worked with. Sam Lloyd made me crack up and break character every single time we did a scene together. I saw that from one of the showrunners. It's nice to see people appreciate other people when things are truly horrible,
Mm-hmm.
and people are feeling low. But I think what I took from Sam's passing was appreciate the work that you love a lot, because next thing you know, it might change you. And music, his music was his life, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I
Which he was lucky enough to have in the show that, made him famous.
Yeah, his barbershop
Yeah.
was featured. And what I take from other musicians is that when they pass, is maybe to do the thing that you may not love it like you once did, but maybe do it because you're really good at it, and maybe you might rediscover it, and maybe
reignite the passion.
New dimensions of it might be explored. Maybe you're not even a fully realized musician. So maybe keep at it. Not necessarily study, learn, have fun.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything, have fun. But maybe just do it a little more. Not even take it seriously. Just do it a little more.
Yeah.
And it's too bad. It's too bad that he passed. But let's go ahead and let's see. We're at hour 20 minutes. Let's check deadline. Check deadline, Jordan. Let's see. All right, I'm on deadline right now.
What was the other passing you wanted to talk about?
Fred Willard. Yeah, it's too bad he died. I was a big fan of Fred. Not even before Anchorman.
But he was 86, right?
Huge Buck
So yeah, long life.
Long fucking life.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh shit! Phyllis George just died. Miss America, pioneering NFL sportscaster, TV host, entrepreneur, and first lady of Kentucky. Holy shit! And that's according to Deadline.
We've had quite a few passings.
Literally right now. Donald Trump is in the news. President Donald Trump borrows Independence Day Independence Day the film.
No.
I'm pulling up the article right now.
Did he say we will not go quietly into the night?
I guarantee he did.
No.
Let's see. I'm going to pull it up on Chromecast
I
for
post that quote every single 4th of July. Well, not every single one. Since 2016.
Since, injustice. And there you go. President Trump borrows. He borrowed it. I borrowed it. In
like a little bunny.
Speech to rouse the citizens. It's as the nation slowly crawls back to economic activity. President Donald Trump has borrowed a speech from the film Independence Day to encourage people. In the 1996 film, Bill Pullman plays the role of President Thomas G. Whitmore, former fighter pilot, attempting to inspire his ragtag collection of pilots to keep the faith in their battle against interplanetary invaders.
Great film.
For the tweet, President Trump, or
he tweeted it?
Or more likely someone else, has superimposed his head onto Pullman's body. It's the same speech, only targeting the coronavirus. We're fighting for our right to live, to exist, thunders the Pullman Trump image. We're going to live on. We're going to survive. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Why would you post that in May?
I guarantee there is somebody out for this dude's head.
I feel like
someone's trying to make Trump look
just
like an
trolled
idiot.
him. Someone on his staff just trolled him. If you superimpose, I didn't realize they superimposed his face onto that. That's a full troll.
I love it. That's so great.
Oh my god. At least it wasn't the we will not go quietly into the night part. Because, dear God.
No, man. Why would you do that? Oh, my god.
I mean, any of it. It's so cringy. It's upsetting.
But I'm really, let's see.
Are we doing any more people that passed?
No.
Okay.
No, Fred Willard, rest in peace. let's see.
No Little Richard?
Oh, man. I was never really a big Little Richard fan until I was a little older. And then I realized the value of Little Richard and how much he meant to not just rock and roll, but more importantly, what he was doing to assist, NAACP, right?
Mm-hmm. The queer community.
Yeah, he was quite the LGBTQ plus individual. Apparently, he loved a trans woman.
He definitely tried to distance himself from the community, but then he would also go up on stage wearing pink spandex and a bright pink wig. So
yeah, so like, come on, what's the double standard, buddy?
It was a different time.
That's true, huh?
And African American. His father was not nice to him about his sexuality. So.
Well, I wasn't really well versed. What you seem to know more than I do. So what's?
I actually heard more about that through Guys We Fucked, the episode that just came out.
GWF.
Episode that just came out yesterday, Friday, May 15th, and Corinne, she's a big pop culture fan. She was very, very upset about it, and she made a point to say that she doesn't normally get, like, cryy about celebrity death. She'll be sad, but she was sobbing about Little Richard because when she was growing up, he made her feel like it was okay to be different. Because she would see him on freaking, like, public access TV kid shows.
Yeah, he did Sesame Street quite a few times, actually. I just pulled up a New York Times article, and you are, if you're looking at it, you can see it. I'm scrolling through it for it. Little Richard's queer triumph. The legend himself sometimes sought to distance himself from the LGBTQ community, but his queerness is what made him a dynamic performer.
Yep.
Let me pull it up.
I mean, he really paved the way for Prince.
You know what? That's a really good point.
Lot of the same stage dynamics. And just like, hey, you're black and you can also be fucking weird. Go for it. As opposed to, okay, we're black, so we're gonna be drummers behind the white person, or backup singers, or backup dancers.
You better be a lady.
You can do what you want.
Wow, are you gonna make me pay for it?
Sorry, bub.
Bub?
Bub.
Bub?
Bub.
But if you look at Chromecast, there's quite a few articles and links that are definitely supporting that. Well, he wasn't shy about it, but he knew what it was doing to his career. It's and he's recanted and said things that he necessarily didn't mean, but again, it was a different time, so he was.
Well,
he was trying.
He was also married to a lady at one point.
He was trying to sell records too,
yeah.
So you gotta go with the trends, right?
When you're having your publicist say, unless you do this, you are not going to make it.
Oh, man. 90 minutes. All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and close on something really, really fucking cool.
Okay.
Unreal Engine. It was mentioned earlier in the program.
The triangles.
I cannot believe what Unreal Engine is capable of anymore. And with the recent revelations that Unreal Engine is capable of, especially making it, everything look real. Shelby from Girlfriend Reviews, she made a good point that VR, look at what Half-Life Alyx did. VR and a reality that is seemingly beyond your own, just might make you compromise the compromise the quality of life and your own reality to maybe escape it and be somewhere infinitely better without having to actually go there.
When you're
Now, Philip K. Dick explored this idea in Do Robots Dream of Electric Sheep. So there's a lot of parallels and a lot of IP that's being developed these days because it begs the question, once we're already seemingly biotechnical entities. Once you really introduce being able to escape like that,
I mean, that'll definitely...
Jordan, the implications.
I know. It'll change it for some people, but you're always going to have the people who have, the wanderlust, or I want to get out of, my normal daily routine to go do something, and for vacationers, that's not going to change just because of VR. They're not going to say, oh, I'm going to go pretend that I'm in Hawaii. Put on my VR, walk around, pretend that I'm surfing for a while, and take it off and be in my own fucking house.
Yeah, that's a good point. Because I thought about skimboarding earlier, and I was thinking, man, I fucking miss it when I was running, because I noticed the range of motion was similar to being explosive before you go to ride the skim, right?
Yeah.
But then I thought, what if there was a way that I could do that without hurting myself? How would that be possible? And I realized, VR. But then, why would you do it? Because
you don't get the splash of water on your feet. You don't get the actual
fear
experience
of getting too far out, and fear makes it's a macro component. I'd say there's a few that make cycling same. There is a fear of you eating shit.
Yeah.
And maybe you break your arm.
I can also fall off of a stationary bike. I'm very talented.
I'm very clumsy. Where's my camera? Very clumsy.
Literally, I have gotten caught in the strap of a stationary bike as I was getting off.
My brother fractured my arm, Pat, on a stationary bike. He knocked me down for some reason.
No, brothers.
Man, shithead.
Shout out.
To shitheads?
But yeah, I personally don't think that VR is going to overtake having a real life experience simply because first of all, we don't have the tech to do it yet. It's not WALL-E. We're not riding around on scooters with a screen in front of our face all the time. Sure, there are people that do that, but the people that enjoy moving their bodies, the people that like going out and doing things, they're always going to want to do that.
That's a good point. I half wonder if
What?
VR and Unreal Engine, once they get more and more developed, or an engine that is the most developed ever, I wonder if a developed engine is just AI. Are we in the very early stages of being able to replicate a life form? Because if we can replicate setting, eventually, because we already have robotics, if we can integrate not just robotics but also the literal the physical nature of a thing, if we can emulate it perfectly, who's to say we can't do that with a human being? If we can have, Tupac played at Coachella however many years ago, right?
To your point, my worry isn't about people are going to be sitting at home and not going out and doing things. My worry is that the entertainment industry is going to be changed forever, because why film on location when you can
plug in,
do it all on a green screen? Why have a new actor when you can have Carrie Fisher again? Why?
We already did that.
I know. And it's just going to get better and better and better because they were like, sorry, the new Star Wars, but Carrie Fisher and Tarkin, they were very much Uncanny Valley. They were creepy. People don't like it. It was spoopy because the eyes aren't quite right. But once they get the eyes right, and you're like, I thought that person was dead. It's not going to be Uncanny Valley anymore. It's going to be
Unreal Engine 5.
Yep. Okay, but what you notice since do you want to tell them what we watched with Unreal Engine 5?
I pulled it up already, and I've been scrolling through it. UE5 was designed by Epic Games. Kudos to Epic Games. Right here in Centerville, actually.
Goose Game.
That's right. Goose Game. That Untitled Goose Game.
I don't think Epic Games developed it. They bought it.
Of course they did.
It was developed by an independent company.
They did win a BAFTA.
Mm-hmm.
Congratulations. Unreal Engine, for those of you who don't speak programming at all, it's literally a lot of triangles, right? But these triangles are pixelated and in a capacity that they're also mapped onto a real setting or a design that is the closest you can get to real. And that allows for precise light measurement, lumens.
Mm-hmm.
And they're using a program called Nanite, and Nanite is the measurement unit that they use for...
Well, lumen was also the name
of the lights that they're
okay.
Because that's the lighting. Nanite is essentially mapping the environment using, I'm assuming, crazy good cameras for the most realistic effect that it looks like you're there. And guess what? You are. We're gonna do a react video to UE5. Epic Games is specifically we're gonna do a react to them because we're gonna be bringing it up a lot. And for all the content going forward, because that's what a lot of studios are going to be using for developing any CGI, and it may get old, but maybe you should learn to speak programming.
What I wanted to bring up after you said that is, since we have gotten into Uncanny Valley area with Star Wars again, bringing up Star Wars. What I did notice is, even though in Unreal Engine 5, the sound, it sounded real. The environment was
Birds.
The environment looked so real, like could barely tell. Water looked amazing. Everything looked amazing. They made a point to make the character that you're playing not look... She still looked cartoony, like extra large eyes, really bright features. So it's not Uncanny Valley territory. They're not trying to make her look like your everyday person. It still was like, okay, this is a video game. She looks great. Incredible. Amazing. But I'm not freaked out that this is, like, not a human.
It looks like a lot of fun, whatever that game is.
I wish they had announced what that game was. I want to know.
And we'll discuss gaming later on. We're over 90 minutes. We're near the end of our second hour.
And this is what we wanted to end on anyways.
What I do want to say about UE5 is Final Fantasy